Obsidian Bases just came out. It's a pretty cool system. It basically replaces the data view plugin that was the community plugin that was very popular for a while, and I want to share with you exactly how I use it. I use Obsidian to write blog posts for my personal website, which has been a great tool to compose them. And so now with Bases rolling out to everyone, I want to share it. This is the Bases view that I use. You can see I have all the blog posts here, and I can easily just go into one and start writing, or if I want to create a new one, I can just click new up here to create a new one. It's very awesome. I want to show you how get this view. So let's start by going up here and right clicking and saying new base, and then it'll give you this view. By default, it literally just shows you everything in your vault, but that's not particularly useful for us. So the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to filter this. And you can, make the filter particular to this view, or you can force it on all views. For the purposes of this illustration, I'm going to force it on all views. I'm going to say if the property, because you list the properties, like anything from the front matter is here. So I'll say, if it's an MD file to start. So I'll say file extension is MD. That immediately cuts out a lot of the information. And then what I can also do is under properties, I can display things like the title, and I can display other things as well, the publish date, that sort of thing. That's a little bit more useful to me than the file name, because the way that this is set up, they're basically all called index. If you look at the post structure here, the folder itself is the slug, and then it has an index MD file inside of that folder. So again, the name's not particularly useful here. So I'm actually going to remove the file name from the view. You can reorder them pretty easily by clicking and dragging and adjusting the column width like this. And so that works pretty well. And then to get that card view, I'm going to change this from table to cards. I'll call this cards. And then if you like, you can specify an image property. So in the front matter, if you have an image, you can actually select that. So if I click cards here, and then I go to the property, I'm going to select the property image. Check that out. You can also adjust the aspect ratio of that cover. I'm going to do something a bit closer to the actual aspect ratio of the image. And here we have it. Now they're kind of in random order, so the next thing I like to do is sort it by date. So the property is going to be published, and I'm going to say new to old. Now some of these posts do not have images, but that's okay. If you want an image for every post, you can do that. It's not a big deal to me, but this is what I enjoy. And if you'd like, you can also customize the title. So if I want to use title case here, I can just change this from the property name to capital T title, and you can see it's updated across all of them. And so that is what I actually actively use for this. Really enjoy it. It makes it really snappy to open posts, create new ones, find them quickly. And if I wanted to create another view, I'll do that too. So I'll delete the duplicate one that we have. So I'm going to create a new view, and I'm going to say productivity, because why not? That's relevant. I'm going to use the same card view. I'm going to use the same image property and the same aspect ratio. I'm still going to sort it by published, new to old. But this time I'm going to add some more filters onto it that are just true for this particular view. For this, I'm going to find the file property of category, and I'm going to say is productivity. So now this is a view that's specific to just the blog posts related to that, which is cool. I also need to update this to display the title, not the file name, and then the published date as well. So there you have it. If I switch back to all posts, this gives me a view of all posts. If I switch to this productivity view, it gives me just the productivity. So if I were to open one of these posts, if I scroll to the very top, you can see all this front matter. These are all properties where you can organize your bases, which is really awesome. So if you want to organize by tags, you could do that. If you want to organize by whether or not it was a draft, you could do that. And you can do custom file properties as well. I'll give you an example of that. So here's another blog that I run in a similar fashion. What I have is a custom property called draft, and it's this formula that says if the file name starts with an underscore, it gets the draft property, and this checkbox says whether or not it's a draft. So that's another example of you being able to do a custom property that works pretty well. So yeah, that's how I use it, and I really enjoy using it this way. There's one more tip that I would recommend if you want to go for, if you're running your own blog with Astro or with some other thing and you use Obsidian for it, is the homepage community plugin and the custom new tab one. So if I open a new tab, oh yeah, I have to update this. Let me just change this really fast. Okay, so I open a new tab. It automatically goes to this, and I can quickly click a new blog post. If I close all this and I reopen it, it's going to launch that as a homepage by default. So the combination of bases and Obsidian with the homepage, being able to specify what you want as a homepage. I like using this as a base as a homepage, and then custom new tabs. So this is kind of your main home screen to just quickly open these posts. You can be more organized, things can be more easy to navigate, and you can get onto publishing and writing your blog posts. Hopefully you found this useful. Let me know in the comments. And if you use Obsidian or you create blog posts with Obsidian or Astro, I would love to hear how you've managed to do it, any tips you found. I found using Git, Astro, and Obsidian is a great combination for creating blog posts on a website. So anyhow, thank you for letting me share that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.